And then now, boom, you get traded to New York, which is kind of like a match made in heaven. Your dad's a longtime Giants fan, but at the
Right.
time, when you're with the Raiders, there was a lot of things going on, a lot of distractions. So you get shipped over to New York, bro. It's a whole new vibe. Like, tell me about how it is being with this organization and like the guys in the locker room. And obviously, there's a new vibe around the team this year. Everyone's excited. So, how do you feel?
It's been amazing from the jump, man. I feel like it just goes back to when I first got the call. I was being traded out that my physical therapist spot in Vegas. Shout out to Zachy. I don't know if you're gonna see it, but
He gonna see it.
but I got the call while I was in his office and from the Raiders GM, and I had on I had on speakerphone. We just kind of look at each other like, damn, well, shit about like shit about to happen. But as I'm going down the stairs, go to my car, I get a FaceTime from like a random number. And I'm usually like, I'm not picking up no random numbers, but I answer the phone and it's Dayball and Joe Shane, the GM of the Giants, and they're just like over the moon, like can't wait. It's like, where are you coming up?
Let's go.
So it's just like that feels good, you know, because it's like I feel like wanted and appreciated, and it's just an amazing feeling. And being here working with the team since the off season, I feel like everybody's been welcoming to me, and then from there it's just like just kind of letting people know like, all right, like through my actions, not really saying nothing, but just like like I'm a good teammate, like through the way that I work and through the way that I handle my business and how I treat people and how I do things.
Yeah.
And I made that a point, and I feel like that's just allowed connections to naturally happen, and I just feel like I'm at home here already.
And when you got traded, and like we were talking about before, like you said, you're human, right? So you feel all those emotions. Like as a football player, like Darren, the football player, did you feel like, damn, like I'm getting traded? Like in a way, like damn, like I just balled. Like I was feeling good about my career so far. Like I got traded. Like did you feel any type of way? Not animosity, but just like as a player personally, like did you feel any emotions? Like
not very much, honestly. Because I mean, at this point, like I've had the ups and downs of my career. Like I got drafted late, making the team, showing some promise, and then like my shit happens in my life, shit kind of plummets. And then it's like, all right, start working back up. Come back, got reinstated, got cut, and then went to a new team. So realizing it's like, okay, like these things don't last forever. Like sometimes you go somewhere else, and so it's like having those experiences. It didn't really like sting or bite like that. You know what I'm saying? I kind of realized through the season, like hearing things from my age and other people, that's like I was on the trading, like off and on the trading block, like pretty much the whole time. So
it was
it's
a
like
possibility.
It's like, and you realize like you don't really take those things personally. Like it's easy to do that, but it's like that's not really going to help me because it's just going to make me resentful. It's just going to make me angry, anxious, trying to figure things out, and that's the shit that's going to send me back to doing what I was doing before.
Yeah.
And so it's like I try to keep a healthy perspective on things, and it's like like it's a change, it's a shift. It's like I was 12 hours back from my honeymoon.
Jeez.
When I got the call being traded. So those things are real. Those are things where it's like, man, like that's things you kind of stress about. But as far as just like the football aspect, I've seen so many things, contracts, traded, cut, this, that, and third.
You've seen it all.
You're like immune.
The shit goes on. Like you keep going as long as you can continue to create and carve room for yourself by the way that you work, by how consistent you are on a day-to-day basis, no matter where I'm at, what uniform I'm wearing. I feel like I know how to do that and can do that. So
yeah,
it's amazing,
man. The offense is revamped. You say DJ, Hyatt, Shep healthy, like Paris, Isaiah, like y'all got a squad, and this is like the most excited New York has been for football in a while. Like on paper, you guys have a team that can compete. What can we expect from the Giants offense?
I think you can expect balance. Like you can expect a lot of people being able to do good things out there. I mean, if you just look at it from a basic standpoint, you got DJ who's, throwing the ball really well and who's also a tremendous athlete, not just like a good athlete. Like he can go. He's fast and he's strong, and so he can make plays in both those ways. You got Saquon who's like a generational running back talent. Like you're not just gonna go find a Saquon Barkley
right
like very often, if not ever. And so that he commands a lot of attention. Like the way that I play the game, like I command attention as well. So it's like you have to make decisions as far as passing game, running game there. And you also throw in people like you just said, Paris, Isaiah, Shep, who's been looking real explosive in his return, which is, shout out to him. He definitely found a second wind. If y'all need a new guest.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, we're gonna get him. My guy's accurate. We're gonna be over there, young Shep.
But yeah, man, it's just a lot of dudes that can get it done. A lot of dudes that can make plays. So just a really balanced offense, and then I like the way defense is coming together. Like we talking about Jay Penny.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jay Penny. I've
Shout out
been
Jay
very
Penny,
impressed with
man.
him. Then you got the front, Bobby at linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the rookies at corner have definitely earned their spots. You know?
Right.
Like
They showed it during camp.
Balled.
yeah, you don't, that doesn't just happen without you earning it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm excited about what this team can do, man.
Shit. Is Hyatt as fast as everybody said? Because I know a lot of dudes on the team, and they
Saying
say
it, yeah.
he'd be sliding.
Yeah.
He's that
I mean,
fast.
it's just me
that.
like knowing like I played with Henry Ruggs. He was the fastest person I've ever seen in person. And it's like, it's right there. And it's
Back
like
in
some
back.
of the
That's
miles per
crazy,
hour. I'm
bro.
like, wow,
Shit.
could Jalen beat him in a race? Like, and that's like, it's crazy. But
The
yeah.
fact that he's even that you even think that means that he has to
Right,
be
that he
flying.
could potentially
Potentially,
be
yeah.
like that to Henry,
Right.
Which is
Henry
crazy.
shout out
Yeah,
to
that's,
Henry, man.
can we expect a win?
I mean, yeah, I thought it's reasonable to expect a win for sure. Like if we play the game that we're supposed to play, and it's like every single stage of the game, we handle the way we're supposed to handle it. Yeah, I believe a win is possible. I never feel like it's not possible anytime I step on the field, or especially with this team that we have.
Right.
So you're not just gonna walk in and be like, oh yeah, we whooping their ass. Like
Right,
that's
right,
just,
right.
You can't do that any
that's
week
just
in the
not happening.
NFL.
You go in and be like, all right, on a play-to-play basis, like I'm gonna handle my business and be detailed in the things that I do because they got dudes over there that can blow the game wide open,
Shit,
and
do that.
you gotta be locked in the whole day.
Most
Facts.
definitely. What is something about like the Giants locker room, the Giants culture that like you love so far, like being around these guys, the guys you were just naming, some of them, a lot of them are characters, but just being in that locker room, the new vibe, like what's something that you love, like just that you've taken so far from just being around those guys?
I was impressed. The first time I ever met all these guys was Daniel hosted a throwing trip in Arizona and rented like this huge Airbnb, and it was like 20 something guys staying in there, and we would go to dinner and work out and stuff like that, and just seeing how everybody just like laugh and joke with each other. And we went to dinner at Steak 44, Ocean 44, one of them joints in Scottsdale, and we had the whole room rented out. They had JBL speakers blasting music, it was freestyling, like just having a great time. And just like these dudes really like each other. It's not like
Yeah.
sometimes
for
in the
real.
league, it's like these are your coworkers.
Right.
Like in whatever job you're working at, you don't always fuck with your coworkers
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
like
Clock in and go home.
But you just handle business. But these dudes really enjoy each other, really have strong connection, just human beings, just man to man. And I was like, okay, this is dope. Like
Yeah, it's like a college vibe. Like
it makes
everybody's
it
a
like
family.
showing up to work every day that much better.
Jay Penny said the same thing. That's for real.
That speaks to the culture that like they've built, because it wasn't always like that. Like before, a couple years ago, it was like walking on eggshells. Like dudes is like, oh, it's not the same. But now it's like even being around the guys is like a big family atmosphere. Talk about like Dable and like Kafka and like the stuff that they have you doing. Like I'm watching the preseason game, 3x1 set. They motion the back. It's you one-on-one. Like you're a number one receiver. So it's bringing you back to like Georgia Tech. Like they're doing super creative stuff with you. And even watching you like during camp, you're going dumb. Talk about like how they have used you to this point.
I feel like they're just building upon a lot of the foundation that I had when I was playing for Coach Gruden. Like, because Coach Gruden would have me lining up out wide, number 2 in the trips, in the slot, in the 2x2,
Yeah.
in line, like coming out of the backfield on a couple plays. Like, so it's just like, I feel like them seeing that tape and like them doing their homework and research before they acquired me. It's like, oh, this dude does a multitude of things on the field. And so it's just
Yeah.
kind of taking that and building upon it with even newer things. And it's just like, and I love to be challenged in that way. I feel like, plus it's like, one of my favorite players is Julio Jones,
Yeah.
like ever, bro. And it's
He's
like, one of
nuts.
the things you look at him is he's running a route from every single spot on the field, because every single time he steps on the field, they have a red circle around number 11. Like,
Stop him.
we are not going to let him. But if he just lined up at X on the left by himself,
Yeah.
it's easier taken away. But he's number 3 where a tight end would be. He's in the slot. He's all these different places going in motion. And it's like, I see that. And it's like, okay, that's where my game has to continue to expand. It's like, I need to be able to do a multitude of things. If I just run these 3 routes, like
Right.
defenses are going to be able to find a way to affect you in some way. So it's just, just continuing to be versatile, and they challenge me and have me doing things where I'll look at something and be like, oh, wait, what is that? But then it's like, hey, if it's helping me get open, help me to be able to make a play, help the team. So I'm with it.
I mean, I feel like you're expanding your route. I see you went on the
Yeah.
slant in the preseason game. Like, I feel like at this point you could do most of anything.
Looking like like a whole receiver.
Yeah, no, that's it's years of work. I mean, I remember I had a receiver trainer. It was been a friend of mine since I was a kid. His name's Quay, man. I remember coming out of college, I was training with him for like my pro day, bro. And I dead ass, like, I could barely run a slant. Like, all I could really, like, at Georgia Tech, all I was doing was blocking and like running a go route, bro. So it's like I had no skills whatsoever. So it's just like years, and that was 8 years ago, bro. So it's just over time working with him and just consistently working details like that, because he was like one of the, you know, short receivers that like could run really good routes. I'm like, I'm this big lanky dude, like, to expand my game, I just need to lock in with him and, you know, and soak up the way he approached the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's those kind of things have paid off.
Yeah. In a perfect world, right? Healthy season. What type of season does Darren Waller have this year?
I mean, a season that's you know, elite for a pass catcher. I don't really get too caught up as far as like what the numbers should look like. And all that stuff. But somebody that's just consistently week in, week out is somebody that is, you know, bringing that shit home for the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Like making plays happen. And then to the point where if defenses are starting to, you know, do whatever they need to do to take me away, like just freeing up stuff for the guys around me, like and taking pride in that. So it's just, you know, just somebody that's like, okay, like anytime the Giants get on the field, like we know that we can lean on number 12. We know that we can rely on him week in, week out. Like he's going to be a guy that's going to be leading the charge.
Yeah.